What's going on, y'all? We got a great interview today. It's actually my best friend, Tee Wiggins. He has a unique story. He started his own clothing line, OG, Original Garments. So gotta support him. We talk about his journey from HBCU to starting his clothing line. And when it comes to fashion, what's whack, what gets to the bag. My third day of school, not second, my third day of school I met him, so it's pretty cool. He talks about me, talk about him. Just fun seeing a person grow. So check us out. Peace.
I got it from my brother from another, man. I know this man for 22 years, man. It's just crazy. So how you want to tell the story about how we met, T?
Man, I don't even know, bro. Like, we was next door neighbors, though. Across the hall neighbors. Like, not across the floor. Yeah, 6th floor with it. The penthouse. Yeah. Everybody don't get the penthouse. So yeah, that was definitely a different kind of luxury, being on the penthouse. If the elevator didn't work, it was over with.
Over with, boy. Stats, boy.
Yeah, man. Across the hall with it, man. Young man from Cincinnati, Ohio. I had never met anybody from Cincinnati, Ohio in my life. So it was dope to, I think you just came out your room one day and they were like, what up? You know what I mean? And it just kind of like, I don't know, bro. I think I just see you in and out the room. We speak. And
yeah.
Somehow you asked for that book, bro.
I did. Biology class, man.
Man, that biology class wasn't no joke, boy. I probably didn't need the book either. It ain't matter. See, I got a D out there joint.
That's crazy. Bro, so first and foremost, y'all don't know. So you went to Tennessee State, right? So we definitely believe the Tennessee State. I'm so glad. I'm so glad, right? I'm so glad. So I don't know about anybody else, but I think Tennessee State University, at least, is the best university in the land. That's just my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I know everybody went to HBCUs might think something different, but that's what I think. What about you, T? Is any other HBCU better than Tennessee State?
Man, you know what? I always think about this. I think colleges are the only thing people are super prideful about, but most of people paid to go to the institution, but we rep it like it's something that our mama instilled and we got some ownership in. And yeah, man, I don't know what it is. The passion that comes behind going to HBCU is just different. And it ain't one like it, man. You know, HBCU experience, it ain't nothing like it. I talk to people all the time that yearn for that experience. They get so jealous to hear about, like, man, like, I wish I went to HBCU, like the afterthoughts of that. So kind of like a pat on the chest, like, hey, I did that. Like, can't ever take that time away, man. You know, and that's the reason why we revisit homecoming every year, try to get that feeling back.
Yeah, that's true, man. So of course, T from Memphis, man. Like, so it's crazy because when I thought of Memphis, I thought about Skinny Pip and 3 6 Mafia, man.
All
like,
that.
You know what I'm saying?
Fly, don't forget.
Yeah, fly. Yeah, get it on. Yeah, so it's like crazy, like meeting people from Memphis for the first time when they had curls and had goals. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, your whole thought process is totally just different. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, so a good thing about what TSU did, man, it definitely helped us grow from a business standpoint. I got my own practice that's rocking and rolling. But my boy T, he got his own clothing line, man. So, Original Garments. So, T, tell everybody about your clothing line. What all you got going on?
Man, Original Garments, man, you know, established during the pandemic like a lot of people businesses. But for years, man, I've been in fashion, you know. I was a runner-up for Best Dressed in high school, you know what I'm saying? And that's my guy won it. But when they said Best Dressed, everybody looked at me and him. And, you know, I like to say, I let him win it because I had won in some other categories. So I was like, you can have that one. But everybody know what it is. So I've been in fashion for a long time. I put on, as me and a couple people say, I put that shit on. And it's just, I just do it my way. And for years, you know, I wear the latest and greatest, and then sometimes I just kind of put different pieces with it. And people always asking me, like, you know, what you wearing, or like, is that the whole outfit of this? And I'm like, nah, like, I just put this together. Like, I just go picking stuff out my closet and be like, damn, I ain't never wore this with that. And you know, that's kind of how I be rocking. And for years, man, people told me you should model, you should do this. And one of my fraternity brothers, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, Alpha Theta Chapter, by the way, yours truly, One of my chapter bros, man, Alpha Theta, he told me, man, you need to come out with your own clothing brand. And when you do, I'm gonna be the first person that buys something. Mm-hmm. And I said, all right, fast forward 20 years later, I'm in the pandemic trying to figure out, my next move. And one of my guys is always one of your close guys. He challenged me. He said, what are you doing, during this pandemic? And I'm like, I don't know, wait for it to be over there like everybody else. He said, man, you need to be out here trying to create something. He said, you come up with something. I'm like, all right. He said, man, all right, I'm gonna help you out. What do everybody know you for? He was like, you. He was like, you are your own brand. And so happily my line name happened to be Red Carpet. So he's like, brand that. Like, people know you for that. Brand that. And I'm like, all right. He said, I'm going to challenge you. I give you 48 hours, come up with a name and an Instagram page. Get it going. So I did that. And as that came about, the brand idea came about. And I'm like, maybe I could do this. And just started brainstorming in my head about some stuff. Yeah. No name. But then coincidentally, my co-founder found, he called me up one day randomly. He was like, man, we've been known to put this shit on, man. We need to come up with our own thing. And I'm like, wow, like I was just thinking that. He said, man, let's come up with like 6 names a piece. I'm gonna call you back in a week. I couldn't even sleep at night, I'm just stuff running through my head. So people always talk about like the OG sneaker and, stuff like that. So I was like, I feel like that's something that won't go away. So how do I kind of build and do a spinoff of like OG? And I'm in my kitchen and I see this wine bottle and I see this G and it just stood out to me. And I'm like, that G got to be a part of my brand. Some kind of way.
Wait, time out. You got that from a wine bottle?
Man, and it's a whole story behind the wine bottle. I can tell you that too. Actually, I'm going to tell you about that. So the wine bottle experience. So it's actually champagne. So I worked for Bob Johnson. I worked for Bob Johnson's hotel real estate company. Really cool with his security guard. And he had a box of champagne. And he was like, man, Bob left me all this champagne. You want a bottle? I was like, yeah. He brought it to me. I look at the back of it. It's a local champagne, like they make it here in the DMV area. And I was like, damn. So I just put it to the side. Yeah. And the G on it, I was like, I got to use this G. And I said, I don't know how I'm going to use it, but this O and this G going to kind of go together. So talking to my business partner, we came back with a couple of names. I said, Original Garments. He said, that's it. He said, that's it. And I said, even something cooler about it. I said, the O and the G going to be like the scientific table. And the reason why I wanted to implement that is because a lot of people try to mimic what I do and it don't look the same. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like I could be standing beside somebody got the same outfit on, but it ain't gonna look like mine because of how I put it together, how it's fitted. What I might do, I might roll the sleeves up. You just don't know what I'm gonna do with it. And I say it's kind of a science to it. Like it's something that it's like it's methodical. And some people don't think about it that way. They think just puts clothes on and you look nice. And it's like, nah, you look regular actually. And I don't like looking regular. So the whole OG logo came about. Yeah. And then it just kind of started evolving after that. You know, I started thinking about other brands and what they're doing. And I always was told by someone, being in a finance industry, they said, don't reinvent the wheel. It's already there. Just put your spin on it. And so I was thinking of different things to do. And I wanted something tangible for the brand. And that's how the lime green safety pin came about. As you can see, that you can put where you want. That's what makes it an original garment. So yeah, man. So that's how it came about. I guess that's a short story, somewhat long, about kind of how OG came about, man. And we moving, we making some waves. People love the quality. It's different. It's not your typical streetwear that's out there. You know, trying to find something different, and it's definitely getting a lot of traction. So I'm curious and happy to see where it's going to go in 5 years from now. You know, hopefully I can speed that up to 3 years. You know, we'll see what happens, you know.
Well, the famous words of Lil Wayne, I don't drink champagne because it made my stomach hurt. But for you, that ain't the case then, I guess, huh? It worked out all together.
Everything happens for a reason, you know. I mean, we on this podcast because I bought $100 book, and you had the audacity to ask me, could you use it? And being from Memphis, I was like, man, I can't let this dude fail this class. I looked out.
But so backstory about me and T, man. Like, so he saw my whole journey, like going through my me starting my practice, actually being a financial advisor. Like, we was at homecoming. I actually, man, look, so we was at homecoming. Yeah. I was studying for my Series 7 test, man. We was in the car.
Man didn't want to miss homecoming.
yeah, we was in the car, man. We was going to go to a day party, man. So I'm stalling, like, man, homie, give me about 15 more. I got to study, man. So yeah, so like literally studying for my Series 7 test back in 2006,
yeah,
man.
You just glazed over something. You said we was going to a day party. We was going to the Alpha Theta world famous tea party.
Oh, the tea was a tea party.
You couldn't get in without Alpha Theta nuke back in those times. It was like, you ain't got no ticket. You don't know about the dough. You probably ain't getting in before it gets shut down. So Mario definitely made sure he stayed close to me on Friday around noon. He made sure he made his business to get where I was at. If it wasn't nobody with me, it was him. He was always going to be with me, studying for his damn test and everything. He made sure he was definitely going to be about his business, and we was definitely going to turn up for homecoming.
Bro, and as homecoming, like, so we had the tea party, the Qs had like the oil spill, like it was just so much. And that's the great thing about the HBCU, man. Like, it's just so much camaraderie, man, so much unity. It's just our culture, man. Like, it's nothing like it, man. It's nothing like it at all. I'd be like, look, I got this test I got to take so I can get the bag, and the bag is just crazy now because of what I did.
Man, the bag's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? But
damn, I should have been taking that test with you. Damn.
Nah, but you got your own clothing line, bro. You good. So I got to ask some questions about the clothing line, man, because, a lot of people want to do something, and I tell my clients, it's all about execution. We had these ideas, we want to do something, we don't execute. Like, what was the one thing that made you say, hey, I've been thinking about this clothing line, but I'm going to do it? Like, what was just the one thing that made you actually just do it?
My people, my close people, they seen this in me for years. I mean, I had one of my homegirls. She was like, damn, you got this idea, like, create the LLC, show me you for real about it. And I'm like, yeah. She was like, you got the idea, create the LLC, show me you real about it. And I'm like, all right. So when I started making those moves, as people were pushing me, create an Instagram page, create the LLC, create the name. And then it just kind of like, all these were people close to me that were saying these things like, bro, like, stop talking about it, like, do it. Yeah. And it was actually kind of crazy how it all started happening. Even my first hat, I didn't want to wear it because I'm like, what if somebody asks to buy it and I'm not really ready to sell it? Like, I don't know what to do. Yeah. And I was like, I went to a big festival and I'm like, I'm gonna wear my hat. And I had one guy. I saw a lot of people look at it, but I had one guy.
Yeah.
I still got his name saved somewhere, but one guy, he said, man, what kind of hat is that? He said, where you get that from? I said, it's my clothing brand. He said, I want to buy it. I support new and upcoming brands. And I said, all right, man. I took his info down. He got a website and everything. I'm like, nah. Took his info down. I got back to him. I said, bro, I'm gonna mail you this hat. The packaging probably was trash. I just knew I had to get this hat in his hand. And I got kind of teary-eyed behind him when he said he got it. He was like, man, this is dope. He was like, man, I'm going to rep it, man. I'm going to rep it hard. And I was just like, wow, like, that was my first. And I told him, I was like, man, you my first sale. That mean a lot. So I was like, that was like damn, like, one person at a huge music festival noticed OG. So I said, it's only a matter of time when people start catching people's eye, man. And yeah. I get a lot of feedback on it. And I hadn't got a lot of negative feedback, but the good feedback is interesting. Like somebody was like, oh, wow, like people don't write in cursive no more. So that looks real cool. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I didn't think about that. Like, it was just kind of, we got somebody to draw up the logo and that's kind of how it came out.
You always remember like your first, like my first client with my practice. I remember like it was yesterday. Like, he gave me a $60,000 check. He's like, look, man, you talking about these stocks, man. I'm gonna give you $60,000. It's more than where this came from. I'm gonna give you $60,000. And like at the time, it's still a lot of dang money. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
But like now we got going on. It's different. But it was like, man.
different.
I was like, man, like, Like this is a lot of day money, man. So like you always remember like the first person, man, like the first person, and then I'm pretty sure for you it gave you that drive, like, you know, if one person, because, you know, especially in our community, right, like, you know what I'm saying, we might say I see you, you know, so we might say, but we usually, especially dudes, like we don't just give compliments like that, you know what I'm saying, like,
goodness, bro.
It is what it is. Like we might tell our whole, like, that's fresh, we ain't gonna tell you though, it's just, it is what it is. But for somebody to tell you that just had to give you this like mad confidence. What do you think the biggest struggle in your business is so far?
Everybody's struggle is funding. You know, we get it out the mud. We come up with an idea and we start trying to figure out, all right, I can't buy too many more sneakers. I need to focus on the brand. So it's all of my money and maxing out credit cards and trying to figure it out. You know, that's probably the biggest struggle, funding. You know, if it's like, hell, if I'd have hit that damn Mega Millions the other night, I was like, oh man, like OG gonna be cracking. Like I'm dumping like, man, like a couple mil in OG, like, you know, they tell me nothing. OG gonna be popping with like Gucci. But yeah, man, funding, man. Like when that first sale happened, it was like, damn, I made 45 back. You know, I put all my time and investment. So it's just like, damn, like, what's that day gonna be like when 100 orders come through? Or I have all these ideas. I try to get some of these things created and bring it to fruition because that validates my ideas. It's like when I see it, it's like, oh shit, like, you know, this dope. Damn, that shirt, it was a mistake shirt. It wasn't even supposed to look like that. And
wait. We can't glaze over that. How was that a mistake though? That looks slick. Like, what are you talking about?
Man, that shirt was a mistake. It was supposed to look different. I wish I could. Y'all can't. Nobody will understand if I tried to speak it into what it was really supposed to be. But basically, how all those letters and colors, it was supposed to be like a wave of. Damn, I can't describe it, but it was supposed to be like the colors were supposed to be like spotted in each of the letters. It was like spots of the color, and it was gonna kind of flow with the logo. And the guy, when he made it like that, and I'm like. Nah, this ain't it, bro. And I showed it to somebody and they were like, this dope. And believe it or not, that is the most popular OG shirt. And I think you even told me that. You was like, man, look, you can't keep hiding stuff for people because you think it's not hot. Like somebody else might think it's hot and it's the number one shirt and I don't even like it. Like that's not my shirt. So that's another thing when I'm creating. It's like getting my own self out the way and let the creativity to the forefront and push it out to the masses and see how it does. Because had it not, I would have never released this shirt. I probably just gave it away to some people. But then when I started giving it away and I posted a picture of somebody in it, somebody was like, I want that shirt. And then people kept hitting me up on IG. I want that shirt. I want that shirt. You got that shirt? And I'm like, I got to make this shirt. Like, I got to make it. Like, I made like 4 of them. And I'm like, this don't look right. And yeah, man. So that's another struggle, letting my creativity do its thing, man, because I see stuff and I'm like, that's dope, but I would have did this. So guess what I go do? I go do that.
So, I mean, that's a successful story right there. But like success. So what does success look like you from an OG standpoint? Like where, how much you wanted to grow? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is success? Because some people, they want to be like these big box stores. Some people just want to just sell out Instagram like crazy. Like, so what is success when it comes to you, when it comes to OG?
Man, it's crazy. The first thing I just thought about is this brand outliving me. You know, like the longevity of this brand. Like the scary thing for me is creating this brand and it dies. Like before me, like it's just kind of, I'll stop being creative. People stop buying stuff because the world is going to evolve. And it's just somebody just say, oh, remember you had OG? It's like, I don't want it to be that. I want it to be OG is evolving with the culture and providing this apparel to the masses, you know, and I want that to live on and be able to leave something to my family, man, because nobody in my family ain't left nothing to me. And I'm I'll be 40 in a couple of days and like nobody ain't left nothing to me. You know what I mean? So it's like, damn, you know, generational wealth is a real thing. And I think a lot of people in our generation are definitely trying to do that. You know, I know yourself, you know, like got it out the mud for real, and like really killing it. Like your bag is heavy right now. Not to put your business in the street, but your bag heavy. It's different, and it's just like you ain't getting no handouts, bro. Like, I mean, you were probably the only person on 6'4" with a car, though. Let's be clear, and it had rims on it. And you left school like once or twice for deployments. Let's be clear. You know, like, I mean, we got out the mud, bro, and like we just never didn't stop trying to get it, man. And that's probably like, you know, one thing that I would say. Like, I don't want OG to die. I wanted to outlive me.
You was with us at Club Mouse when they broke into my car, didn't you?
Bro, I definitely think I was. I rode to Atlanta with you with that little TV on your dashboard. Yeah. And you were so happy about that little TV, boy. It's funny, man. This cell phone is bigger than that TV now.
So I had a TV, Joe. It was probably like what, 3-4 inches, and I was
probably like 4 or 5 inches.
Yeah. Shout out to Rashawn, Lonnie, D. I went to ballet. And it was like, I think like maybe $15-$20. Now in Atlanta, ballet like 100, you know what I'm saying? But like back then it was like 15. I was just so cheap. I was like, nah, I'll park on the side street. Yeah. I parked on the side street, man. We in the club, about 2.5, 3 hours. I come back out, man, they smash my windows. They take my TV. And I just got the new little flip CD, you know what I'm saying? Game Over. And that, you know, little flip. You know what I'm saying? He ain't popping now, but back then when he had Game Over, like, you know what I'm saying, before the T.I. situation, it was like he was popping. And man, I was so pissed off, man. So we had to drive back.
That little ride home, no window.
No window. I had that the plastic. That was the worst, bro. So man, y'all don't be cheap, man. Look, when y'all go to the club, either Uber or valet, man. It ain't worth somebody smashing your window, man.
You learn the hard way. Don't ride up to the club line with your windows down and your beat going. Park that joint, you know what I'm saying? Like, let your windows up before you get a mile from the club. Turn the beat down, pull the TV off the stand, put that radio face in your pocket.
Yeah, now Clubhouse was packing too, man. So what about Tennessee State you think equipped you to have your business popping like it is now?
What about Tennessee State?
Yeah, HBCU just in general, but of course us Tennessee States, like what you learned that you kind of still do today from a business standpoint.
A way to give back. Sound a little cliche, but when I said I'm going to do some snapbacks for the brand, guess what? I had to do the TSU colorway. Yeah. I got the TSU colorway, the black and the red. So I had to do the TSU colorway because I said, I mean, what I'm going to do for my people? Like, if I just have random colors and they're going to be like, man, they want to rock it at home, coming with their gear, you know? So that was probably like one thing I knew I had to do. Like, I learned the hustle, you know, not necessarily all at TSU, but, you know, in my growing years. But I knew I had to have a colorway if I was going to come out with a brand and wanted people to support. And, you know, and that's crazy because homecoming, I decided to display one of my jackets and people was going crazy about it. People was like, man, I want to buy the whole lineup right now. I'm like, ready yet? You know what I mean? And, yeah. But yeah, I just knew I had to find a way to give back and, you know, representing the school colors, man. It was no better way.
I know me and you went to hella homecomings together, you know what I'm saying? So I know for you, what university has the best homecoming?
The Tennessee State University, man. Okay. Like, I mean, I try to bring people to my homecoming every year, man. And we've had some people miss their own homecoming and pull up on us. And when they leave on Sunday, they be like, yo, that joint was cracking. I be like, I know. That's why I ain't missed one in 22 years. Yeah. I ain't missed a homecoming. It's just, and, you know, you get people from different schools. Like, I even have some friends that I met at our homecoming that did not go to Tennessee State. And they are honorary Tennessee State alum. They show up, they provide whatever, you know. Yeah. They provide some drinks to the tailgate. They pull up with, you know, the extra bottles, whatever. They always pull up. They know what they gonna get when they pull up. A great weekend. I mean, it's no other thing like homecoming, man. I remember my freshman year, this football player, I met, dude was like huge. Dude was probably like 2 people of me. Like, you probably remember dude. He was super tall dude, good dude. He was like, man, homecoming coming up. Because his school just started like September. So he like, man, homecoming coming up. He was like, man, the whole week gonna be crazy. And I'm like, okay. And he kept talking about it every other week. He like, man, y'all ain't gonna be ready for homecoming.
Yeah.
And homecoming was everything and more, man. I don't even remember what I did freshman year. I know I went to a party every night. I know that.
Geek is homecoming week. We don't go to class. We don't go to sleep.
Man, they slide them flyers under your door. You got party options galore. So,
the free parties too. We was freshman and sophomore free parties. You know what I'm saying?
And a free party.
It's crazy. So I was in the military. So, you know, our junior year, I was gone fighting for our country. I didn't do no fighting though. I was in Kuwait, not Iraq. I was pushing papers like a mug, you know what I'm saying? But our last 3 years, like we knew all the security guards. So like we had to wait in line. It was cool. We had to pay for no club. Then a homeboy Nye was a promotion.
Man, we get the golden child on here, man. Talking about golden child on here one time.
When he threw parties the right way, he threw, man. He was in real estate too, man.
Golden child entertainment, man. He didn't let us in the parties for free either.
like we pass out the flyers, man.
Yeah, we was like, dang, you gonna let us in free? We're gonna sneak in. How about that?
What's from an HBCU experience alone? Like, you know, I had the T CDs cracking. You know, say my homeboy T, what up T in Jersey, man? He was burning the CDs. You know what I'm saying? We was selling the Project Pat CD for like $5, man. Just find a way, man. I think that whole entrepreneurial spirit that you learn, you know what I'm saying, especially we learn at TSU, like helps us today, man. You know what I'm saying? Helps me with my practice, what I got going on. My business partner, Anthony, you know what I'm saying? He went to FAMU and graduated. So I think from an HBCU standpoint, like you learn just so much about yourself. You learn so much about business. You learn so much about kind of making it work for you that as you get into corporate America or you start a business, like you can't fail, you know what I'm saying? Because you learn so many life lessons. I think that's a huge difference. I got, you know, friends and family that went to PWIs. It's just different. Like their whole experience, their homecoming is different. Like, so I'm in Jacksonville. So, you know what I'm saying? We got the Florida Georgia game. You know what I'm saying? We go to their tailgate. Their tailgate is way different than what our tailgate is. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. Unless you went to an HBCU, like you just would not understand at all, man. So what do you see OG in the next 1 year, the next 5 years?
Middle of this month, be like the 1 year anniversary. So that's crazy. So 1 year from now, man, design's going crazy. In 5 years, it should move to what I think it should look like. And my thing is I want OG to be a household name. I want, you know, some celebrities rocking OG. I want people hitting my line. I want to be that designer that's showing up to, you know, certain fashion shows, giving people some merchandise. You know, hopefully somebody at one of the big fights have an OG hat on, sitting on them front rows or something, you know. So that's what I see OG in 5 years.
Man, who you taking? You taking Crawford? You taking Spence?
I'm a bid man, so I would probably put money on both of them. I'm biased because Spence is a Dallas boy. And I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm a little biased. But I don't know, man. Like, that's going to be a good fight. And the crazy thing is, I think it's going to go decision, and it's going to be so close, nobody ain't going to know it. It's either going to be that or somebody going to come in there playing, and it's going to be a body shot. It's going to get them up out of there. But if I had to bet, it's going to go 12. It's going to be by decision. It's going to be so close. It's going to be a trilogy. It's going to have to be part 2, part 3, because it ain't going to go that simple. But I don't know, man. I'll be sitting by. I don't know. I had to go to that fight. I got to be in the building with the energy. That's going to be crazy. That's going to be like Floyd fighting Pacquiao in the prime, because they ain't really fighting in the prime.
Yeah. Pacquiao was hurt too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he hurt his shoulder before the fight, man, but he had to get the bag. August time frame 2020 when like things just opened up. So like, I know at the time, but like I was in the TSA line, you know what I'm saying? You know, TSA line, you move so quick. Crawford was behind me. Like I went first class that flight. You know, so we sitting down, he got on.
I heard that light flex, that flight.
I'm champ, you know what I'm saying? Pound him and keep it going. But like, yes, I mean, I ain't the biggest person in the world, but like I think Spence is the bigger fighter, man. I think, you know what I'm saying? I know Crawford is skilled, but Spence is the bigger fighter, man. I think Spence is gonna wear him down, man. Like,
they've been talking trash on Twitter, man. Like, you can literally pull up Spence Twitter right now. He's probably slick some about He's probably slick saying something about Bud in the tweets, like, and people be like shooting at him too, and he'll say something slick back.
Another boxing story. I was in Turks and Caicos with me and my wife anniversary a couple years ago, right? And so they have a thing called like a fish fry, you know what I'm saying? So they like the whole town come out. So just guess who was in town that week that I got to, you know what I'm saying, toast to and take a shot with at the fish fry.
It's only one guy that I think of, and that's the Money Mayweather, and I'm assuming it was him.
That was about to grab like tough. Nah, but he is part of the Money team though. Your homeboy Javante, man. Your homeboy.
Oh, little Tank was out there.
Yeah, so I'm like 5'8". He was shorter than me, man, but he was just so cocky.
Boy, Nick probably big as your whole body though. Boy, Nick like a pit bull.
To be a boxer, you got to be such good shape. Like you might just be short, but like you just all just muscle, man. Like them fools run 15, 20, 25 miles a day. Like you got to be in so much shape, man.
I met this guy, man, and he trains for boxing. Like he like does it like leisurely, but he was like, it keeps you in a whole lot of shape. And I was like, man, I want to get involved, you know, like. When
it comes to HBCU in Tennessee State, have you ever been purged before? And if you have, then what did it feel like?
Man, you know what? I never got purged because I was always that person that said, I cannot afford to get purged because if I do, it's going to throw my whole schedule off and I'm going to have a 8 o'clock, a 2 o'clock, a 5 o'clock, and a 7 o'clock. Can't do that, bro. That ain't going down. So I said I would not get purged, and I knew the teachers I needed that was going to get me up out of there. So those classes was going quick. So I was making sure I did not get purged, but I definitely didn't walk through the student center a couple of times and seeing people crying in the corner. So they got purged. You know, they lost all their little classes. So now they pick up the new classes. They got to take the next one of the classes next semester. They got a half a load. You know, they part-time. It's worse, bro. Like, everything gone.
I got purged one time and I was so sick. Like, man, hold on, man. The military paying for half my college, man. Like, what are we doing here? Why am I getting purged, man? But we worked it all out, man. My first year roommate, Shabar, second semester, he got purged, man. He ain't had no Wednesday classes, so it was students on a Wednesday, so he was crunk about that. You know, no Friday classes. That fool got purged, man. He had nothing but like 9 o'clocks, 10 o'clocks, and then a fool gave it on Wednesday, man. He was sick.
And he probably had a Friday 5 p.m.
he was sick, man.
So I worked at Howard University too, man, and they kind of behind the 8 ball with it, but they were trying to implement purging, and they were doing it. They implemented one semester. When I tell you they purged people and they protested about that, and kids was in the A building crying and raising hell, they did that one semester, and it didn't last. And I was like, bro, TSU, man, you purged on a regular.
Yeah, you know, when somebody get branded, like that's a brand right there. Like if you're in your purge, you ain't go to a HBCU, at least at TSU, at least.
It's destined upon me to do this, and it took a lot of my close friends to get me to do this, man. And I feel like I got to do it, and you know, this is what the culture needs, and I want to put my stamp in the culture, and OG is gonna be it.
Yeah. Nah, man. Well, salute to you, man. Definitely. I got my jacket. My homeboy got me. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got to get a color wave, and definitely got to continue to support, man. So how you going to hide something from your homeboy who does business and for a living? But whole other story, man. You know what I'm saying? But you told me about it. We was at with the Memphis, talking about HBCUs at the Memphis classes, man. This could be the last year too, TSU for Jackson State, man. That's just, I can't believe it's going to be the last year. But you was telling me about it, man. And like to see from like that vision and like the pictures that you had, and you tell me about the distribution you was doing, you know, with the companies in China to like now, man, it's just crazy to see how much it's growing, see how many people.
Man, I just was so nervous to talk about it because I didn't know what I was doing, and I was like, I don't want to talk about it, and then nothing happens. Yeah. And you know, I was working on stuff behind the scenes, and people was pushing me, you know, and I just couldn't tell my close guys just yet because I didn't want people, man, what a merch, what it, you know, I was just like, I got to do this. And it's still to this day, people, I need, and it's just like, hold up. Like, just because you know the CEO and founder, like, chill out. Like, you know, eventually I'm going to send you to the site too now. Calm down. I got you. Like,
and you just want to get paid. Tired of making the money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late. Yeah, pay for profits to help you seek change. And you just want to get paid.